Good morning, Lene.
Good morning, Sandra. Good morning, Bridget. I could hear you guys talking about the fear that these men must have felt in the water, and we learned from officials just a little bit ago that the men described the attack on their friend as absolutely ferocious. We understand that when the man was being attacked, his friends were out in front of him. They heard him screaming for help. They turned back around to help him. They managed somehow to get him back onto the shore, and when they did that, they immediately called for help. Rescue crews came out, took the guy away, but he was pronounced dead this morning at 7:50. Now, if you take a look behind me, you can see there are folks on the beach right now, but they are not in the water. That is because absolutely nobody is allowed in the water at this point, and they say that it is in effect indefinitely. And we've seen helicopters passing overhead out there looking for this shark that attacked this man. Absolutely nobody allowed in the water. People are obviously absolutely shocked by the news, gathering around, coming up to us, asking questions about details as to what has happened today, and people just in disbelief about this latest news. I think we hear a helicopter overhead. I don't know, Mike, if you can get a shot of that. There's a couple of them in the air right now, and what they're doing is looking into the ocean, trying to track down, see where this shark is. And of course, nearby communities have also been notified. Nobody's allowed in the water right now, again, for the next few days. And as I said, people just really shocked to hear what happened. And we understand also that officials have contacted SeaWorld to come take a look at the injuries that this victim suffered this morning, to see if they can determine what kind of shark it was by the bites on the body. So at this point, though, the identity of the victim is not being released. We don't have any of that information as of yet. But right now, again, everybody is being warned, stay out of the water. Back to you guys in the studio.
And I guess the big question, Lene, is how long they're going to keep people banned from the water. I mean, here we have a warm weekend coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And, here we are on the sunny San Diego coastline. How long will that ban stay in effect? I guess that's a question.
Well, right now, they're saying indefinitely. For sure, all day today, definitely all day tomorrow. But until they feel confident that, there's nothing in the water, at least, they're going to keep looking and try to find this shark, and they want to make sure that the waters are safe before they say, okay, go back in. And it's interesting that you brought that up, Sandra, because some folks have been talking about this warm weather and how a lot of folks are planning to be at the beach this weekend and to be in the water. But it looks like right now that is just not the safe place to be.
Boy, a swimmer's worst nightmare.
And Lene, we're learning more about the swimmer. You were on the scene. Were there family members there, people who knew that individual? Were you able to talk to anyone?
No. At this point, we did ask about the victim, and the officials who held the news conference said they are not releasing any information about him at this point. His family has been notified, but as far as age or name or anything like that, that has not been released as of yet.
I just cannot imagine how traumatized those other swimmers in the water at the time must be right now after undergoing all of that.
Right, and the bravery that they showed, too, because they were actually, from what we understand, swimming in front of their friend, and when they heard his calls for help, they stopped, they turned back around, and they went to get him. So it took a lot of courage on their part to do that as well.
It takes a lot of courage coming back to help someone that cries out the word shark.
Now, are you noticing any Coast Guard boats or anything out in the water at all, Lene, looking for?
There is nothing in the water right now. Let's take a look again at it as well. You can see it is absolute. The ocean is empty. There's nothing in the water right now. But what you will see overhead are helicopters flying over, and what they're doing right now, from what we understand, from what we've been told, is they are looking for this shark and trying to determine if it's still in the area. And until they have any information about that whatsoever, they do not want anybody in the water whatsoever.
It's going to be a long, scary summer as a mom who just signed up her 10-year-old for junior lifeguards off the coast of Solana Beach.
Well, you can imagine just a little further.
Yeah,
a little further down that way is Tide Park, where the news conference was held, and of course, folks were gathering around, listening to the news conference, wanting details, asking questions. A lot of people pretty shaken up about what happened this morning.
All right, Lene Lewis reporting for us live there on the coast in Solana Beach. We're going to check back with you in a little bit, and our team coverage will continue.
Thank you, Lene.
You're welcome.